Hello and welcome, Dragon
It
Brawlers!
finally happened! We have played God Trunks in the Dragon Ball Super card game later than I expected, but it's here.
You kept on
Oh,
calling
you
it
have to.
every set.
I've been asking for it for a long time. Literally, it's guys, go back and check that spoiler video I made way long ago. This is one of the things I was waiting to see. We have a Z leader, which is amazing because I love the Trunks Xeno leader anyway. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. But before we do, if you head into the description, use our affiliate links and code with Voltex, save yourself some money and help the channel whilst doing so. But yeah, Loki, take it away. Take away Super Saiyan God Trunks guiding light.
Oh, I'm getting yeah. So it's a
You,
Z
you,
leader
get, you
that.
get to talk about the Keyblade boy.
So it's a Z leader with a very weird sword in his hand.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a Keyblade.
it's a Keyblade, okay. With 2 Z energy and 20,000 power. Z Awakens Spirit Boost 1. Your life is at 3 or less. Black Trunk Xeno. So I guess your deck is not using this one, is it?
So I am gonna like the support that I built in here made me actually want to run the card. But yeah, my original Trunks build that I was running at Wells was not using the
Yeah.
Unison.
So the thing is, the Spirit Boost was an interesting mechanic, but it was very underpowered.
Yeah, and they do a lot to remedy that in with
Yeah.
this support, which I'm excited about.
Auto, when this card attacks, draw 2 cards and send 1 card from your hand to your warp. Bless you.
Thank you.
So you draw 2 and you send 1 from hand to your warp, which is what this deck wants to do, isn't it?
Perfect. You can hit so many good things. You've got Shroom Salsa Tech, which I like. You've got the Cumber Secret Rare, which is great. And then obviously all of your trunk stuff that you want to see there as well.
Yeah.
Like your Gohan, your Goten. You've got your 5-drop, and now the next card that we'll see also as well. So great effect. Lets you get. It's all pluses in my opinion. Like there's no downside to it. Like normally you'd be like, oh well, you warp a card from hand. It's like no, that's actually it's a second hand is the warp essentially.
Yeah, no, this deck I remember is designed from playing from warp. That's what I
You saw
remember.
it, right? You saw me
Yes.
when we were in the UK, and I was just like, la la la. Playing things from hands was so like pre this deck.
Activate main once per turn. Spirit Boost 1, and the important one, no other energy cost. If you place 2 black battle cards from your warp into your drop, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, send it to the warp. Additionally, if you have Supreme Kai of Time opposing the Empire in play, this card gets 5k power and double strike for the turn, so it becomes 25k double strike leader.
If you have your Unison, which you've spirit boosted, you probably got it.
And hopefully it survived that Spirit Boost 1, right?
Yeah.
And
it's
also,
awesome.
it refuels your Overwhelm.
Yep.
It removes a battle card from your opponent. And it gives you 5k and double strike if you still have Supreme Kai. So there's a lot of support for the Supreme Kai, which was the designed unison for this deck, isn't it?
Yeah, like the only one drawback is like, oh, Black Smoke exists. It's like, yeah, but if you're gonna Black Smoke it, there's more cards to fix that now, and it's like, all right, you've just wasted Black Smoke essentially because there's way bigger things you need to hit in this deck than Black Smoke, than your Unison, and she is gonna have so many markers on it. I love this. I think this is a very well thought out Z leader. I want to see something equivalent to Mechikabura like this, but honestly, it brings Spirit Boost back in a non-punishing way, and generally just very well designed. Amazing job from Bandai. But let's talk about the new boss monster, Super Saiyan God Trunks Sealing Power. Artwork's a bit squiff, but you know, we'll let it slide. 8-drop, 3 specified black, 0-5 with 30k power, unique triple strike barrier. Xeno evolves Spirit Boost 1/1 black energy. So it's like paying 2, but not really. If your leader is a black Trunk Xena with a cost of 5. There is technically 3, I think, that it can hit, but you're only going to be playing it on top of the SR that you'd be playing in a deck anyway.
How is that SR working? Is it removed from game when you remove it from the field?
Yeah. But you've chosen a valid target with Xeno Evolve.
It works with Xeno Evolve, yes.
Yeah, so you swing twice if you want, refill your drop, then go in for this.
Yeah.
Which then makes it like, oh, you've swung 20k while they're on 5 life, gets them down to 3, and then they're like, oh, I'm safe. It's like, not anymore, you're not.
Yeah.
Then as the permanent, if this card is in your warp, you can also activate this card Xeno Evolve. That's amazing. It's just generally an amazing skill.
That is really cool.
If this card would leave your battle area, remove it from the game.
Okay.
Same kind of permanent, makes sense because you don't want to be able to loop this. And then when this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignore and barrier, and warp it.
So this is really strong. I can see why it has unique, because you do not want more than one of those on board.
Nope.
This would be just really, really bad, especially of how cheap it comes out. And the fact that Xeno Evolve is not limited here.
No, exactly. It's just a great little boss monster, honestly. It's exactly what the deck needed for that little further push. Because like Trunks is great because it refills your drop, but it's like if you don't have an overrealm finish on hand, you have this now, and this is arguably an actual end game piece. And then you put it alongside something like the Combo Secret Rare. They're not going to be able to floodgate you.
It's not even that it's a game ender. If they just leave it on board unchecked, it has barrier. They need to climb over this with power, or just use something like Android 21 Secret. I don't know. That still chooses, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So and then this gets to remove anything. Doesn't check for the cost. Doesn't check for anything. It doesn't get to remove indestructible only.
No, and it warps it as well, which is always a bit more punishing. So yeah, phenomenal card. Love to see it.
Really good support.
So 2-card package. It's not the promos like they did with Supreme Kai of Time. But like again, and it also gives more validity to actually running the Kai Unison in the deck.
Because you have that spirit boost, right?
It also this also again, this is another thing to complement that deck. This now makes me consider putting in the Trunks Spirit Boost play card, because I took that out because I wasn't using the Kai, obviously.
Yeah.
But now if that's back in, that's also another card that adds to that list of you play them from the warp. And also, we should mention this, if you play the card from the warp, you get the marker back. So essentially, it's 1 black.
Oh. That's before you see Awaken, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the good stuff. All the good stuff. So next up, we can talk about
Supreme Kai of Time releasing time power.
You can take this one.
There's also support for this deck.
Shockingly.
1 drop, 1k power. God. Activate main 1 black. If your leader is a black Trunk Xeno only card, and you place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck, and you remove this card in your warp from the game, add up to 2 of your life to your hand, and if you have no Unison in play a Unison specific one, the Supreme Kai of Time, from your hand or warp with 2 markers on it. You can't play Unisons for the turn.
Solid. So solid. This
makes it really good, isn't it?
This basically makes the black smoke threat non-existent.
Yeah, because you just need to keep on warping this, and if you put it in your Z energy to play something from a Z deck, or if you just overwhelm it, or I think the front of the leader just warps the top 2 of your deck.
Up to 3.
Up to 3. It just goes from the top of your deck, right? Yeah, so it can hit cards like this. It can hit cards like your Unison.
Unison goes to warp isn't a bad thing anymore.
Yes, because that was the problem, wasn't it?
That was part of the problem. Yeah.
It's really
honestly, just such 3 cards, well thought out, and this is what Bandai can really like. Honestly, hammer this home. This is the kind of stuff we want to see. Like, you don't need these long, new creative ways to create it. Like, just okay, you can introduce a few leaders and stuff, and like, oh, it's a nice little package. But like, there is space there, like, to put in those nice little cards like this, where we see some extra things. Rather than maybe having multicolors one day, we put some extra cards into red that support. I don't know. Set 2.
No. Red doesn't need. The red doesn't need any support. Red doesn't need any support.
Red. That was like the worst example. Green needs more cards. Give them more red.
Yes, red needs more support.
Yes. But yeah, overall, another amazing card for Trunk Xeno. And now let's talk about
Toa.
Which one?
Rebuilding the Demon Realm. The 1 drop.
Okay, so 1 drop, 4k, permanent. If this card will leave your battle area, remove it from the game instead. Kind of a thing that we see now. When this card is played from your Demon Realm, when When this card is played, your Demon Realm Soldier tokens can't be removed from your battle area by opponent's skills for the turn. This is huge because that's like one of the big
Oh,
issues.
that's a token tower, isn't it?
This is token tower sport, yes.
Yeah.
Activate main, limit 1 if your leader is a Black Demon Realm race, and you have a unit, if you have the mirror in play,
Yeah.
and you play one card from your hand at the bottom of your deck, you play it from your warp.
For free.
For free.
Damn.
So if it's a 1-drop, it's fine. If it's played from your warp, it's even better.
Yeah.
Then we have combo attack.
Yes.
2-drop deflect. If your opponent has 2 or more energy and you send 1 card from your life to the warp, when this card is played from your hand, play up to 1 black unison with a specified cost of 3. Shuffle your deck with 1 marker. Shuffle your deck and then send up to 2 cards from the top of your deck to your warp. Activate battle once per turn. If you remove 1 skillless battle card from the game, you can remove tokens. Use up to 1 mono black card with 5k power from your warp in a combo with its skills negated. Really solid card.
I have a question. Where is the unison played from?
Deck.
If your opponent has 2 or more energy and you send 1 card from your life to your warp, that's fine. When this card is played from your hand, play up to 1 black unison with cost of 3 and marker on it. And then shuffle your deck.
Yep, so there's another I assume deck because it mentions shuffle your deck.
Yes, but it could be hand or deck, warp or deck.
Hand or deck would be really nice.
But yeah, it's another option. And the fact that you need to warp a life is a bit scary, but it's another option to get your unison cheaply, which helps you awaken early.
Yes.
And then activate main, you remove 1 of your tokens essentially, and use up to 1 mono black card in a combo. I think that's fine because it lets you. It's once per turn. The card is not unique, so if you have multiple of those on board, it's fairly easy. Fairly nice actually. You just remove a token, combo out, Z charge, put those cards in the drop so you can overwhelm. There's a lot of things you can do with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good support.
That's nice. And then
Mira, creator absorption. Not absorbed, absorption. So this is a very interesting card. It's a 8 cost with 30,000 power and double strike. And X evolve, limit 1 if you have 4 or more energy on top of Black Towa with cost of 5. That is a very interesting skill.
Yeah.
X evolve, of course, you send to the warp the target that you evolve from, and then this is played inactive.
I don't really care for this card, I'm not gonna lie.
Auto once per turn, 1 black if your leader is a Black Mira or Towa, and you remove 3 of your skillless battle cards from the game. When this card attacks, you draw 1 card and choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, send it to the warp, then switch this card to active. So it's a dual attack. But you need to pay 1 black for that. I guess it doesn't cost anything to bring it out. I don't remember how the 5-drop is played though.
Union Absorb, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, you know, if people like the deck, then it's cool to have it. I'm just not personally fussed.
I mean, it goes on top of a Towa, which I think is a cool interaction. It works with the tokens. I think it's fine.
Yeah, fair enough. Next up.
Dark King Mechi, ruler of the Demon Realm.
So 1 cost, 1 specified black, 4k, 0, 5k combo. If your leader is Mechikabura only, that means it's for the Wish Mechikabura deck.
Yes.
When this guy's played, look at the deck, add up to 1 Dragon Ball to your hand, and place up to 1 in your drop. Then shuffle your deck. Oh boy, where to start with this? Only downside is you don't look at life, but you're pitching 2 Dragon Balls, turn 1 if you're going first. This is amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely phenomenal. Like, this is exactly what the deck needed. And that's amazing. But that's not the end of it. That is not the end
Before
of it.
you go further, I want to touch up on this skill, because this is the same problem that all the other Wish support cards had in the past that we got. Because initially, if you remember, all the Wish leaders were bad because they were only searching 1 Dragon Ball, and Shenron was searching 2, so Shenron was considered superior.
Right, when it was like,
and then they released the support like Orb for green, which was the best one. The problem was that those decks then depended heavily on drawing that card in their opening hand. If you did, you got to play the game. If you didn't,
Yeah, but you don't also don't rely on this for this, so it's fine.
It's fine. I would like
Um,
to see this card in the Z deck though.
uh, I don't because I don't think it's necessary for the Z deck.
Fair.
Like there's better things to put in the Z deck, like the one drop pan, for example, from Supreme Card of Time, where if there's one in your life and you take it from your life, you gain life back.
Okay.
Yeah,
enough.
I think this is fine just as a one drop in the main deck. Activate main, limit 1, free specified black, quite pricey. If your leader is a Mechikabura card, your opponent has 3 or more energy, and you send this card from your drop to the warp, play the 8-drop SR.
You also send one of your opponent's battle cards from their drop to the warp.
Also that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice as well. But yeah, play the 8-drop SR, and it gets barrier. Oh.
From hand or drop, that's interesting. So the 8-drop SR costs 4 black, if I remember correctly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have two options. You can either ramp it up turn earlier, or if you played it on 4, your opponent answered it, it's in your drop, you can resurrect it. So you can play it up to 8 times.
It has deflect.
That's fine, they can still remove it.
Not true.
It doesn't have barrier normally.
Even still, like the other way around it is you can ditch it. You can now safely ditch stuff for like effects, which is great because you weren't able to do that before. Now it's like okay, cool. Or it's a 110 combo if you really need it. It gives it barrier, which means it's sticking around. It's great because now you're gonna be warping the board. You're gonna get 3 bodies for the price of 3 black energy, which is amazing. You also get more cards in your opponent's warp, which now fills up the new secret rare Mechikabura, which is also nice. Which that's synergy there. This card's phenomenal. It's exactly what the deck needed, and honestly, Bandai, really good job. Where's my Z leader? Honestly,
in Fighter's box.
I really hope so. I think a lot of people are kind of hoping for that at this point. Then we get Salsa?
Shroom.
Bollocks! You take Shroom.
Shroom, Violent Magic Assault. 5-drop, 20,000 power. Auto limit 1. When this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with cost 7 or less and send it to the warp. Additionally, if your opponent has 2 or more cards in their warp, you draw 1 card.
Yeah.
That card is really good.
Really good.
And then activate main, limit 1. 1 black if your leader is a Mechikabura only card, and your opponent has 2 or more energy, you play him from your hand. So both skills limit 1 is a bit painful.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd be drawing quite a lot of cards. Because
I can understand being played
with the other Shroom, you'd be drawing lots.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you have other tools as well.
Yes, I have many tools in this deck, and now it's finally coming together. The only thing is, the activate main doesn't put any Dark Dragon Balls in the drop, which is sad, and it's only played from hand, which we'll talk about when we get to Salsa.
Yeah, and then there's a Salsa.
So 4-drop 15k crit, which is nice. So this is trade-off, by the way. Like this isn't got crit, but it's 20k. This has crit, but it's 15k. If it's removed from the battle area, it's removed from game. That's fine. When this card is played, your opponent warps 1, draws 1. This is amazing for this deck anyway. And then activate main, limit 1, 1 black. If your leader is Mechikabura only, and you have 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand or draw. This is perfect fodder now to put Dark Dragon Balls from Dark Empire Strikes Back, so you can ditch this and then still play it the same time if you really want to.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Like it just enables pressure with crit. Like I can swing with this freely, and I'm like, I don't really care if they counter it or not. It's wasted resources. And also the warping 1, draw 1. The amount of people who underestimate this type of skill, like especially mid to late game, where people are holding cards back, forcing them to then choose cards they've been purposely holding back on.
If you go long enough and you can actually first cooler them and then start forcing them to restrict their hand further.
Yeah, there's so many options. This is great support for Mechi all around. Even this room's not bad, it's just not... I don't see where it... In the 50 card variant, I don't see where it goes. In the 60 card variant, I have space for it.
I can see where that shroom is going as additional removal, because that shroom can remove any 7-drop or less that doesn't have barrier.
Yeah, it is good removal. It is good removal. I'll give it that. I just wish I had from the drop or did something with the Dark Dragon Balls like that. Like,
Yeah.
would have just been that extra little bit.
I get you,
Yeah,
but I guess for that one we go to the one drop Mechi, isn't it? For the Dark Dragon Balls.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's great. Honestly, I think it's fantastic. I'm really glad to see they haven't forgotten about Mechikabura Wish. And that wraps us up for Black.
Yes,
Really
that
good
was the
thing.
last
I
one.
kind of want to see more Black stuff like this, kind of going back to Black's roots. I still think Black should still get leaders, maybe every other set. I think that'd be a nice way of going about it. But then supporting the decks they kind of left behind.
Like, this is... And don't get me wrong, I would prefer to see in the course of every color just getting one leader and then support for the old decks like we've seen here for Black.
Yeah, I think that's a real nice choice as well. Two leaders, two archetypes is kind of a lot to ask.
Yeah, and then you always have a winner and a loser, and it's kind of... I would like to see more support for the old leaders, or make old leaders actually viable. But that's a conversation for a different time, different topic. Here we were talking about the Black in the newest set for the Dragon Ball. And I think I like it.
Back, man. I was so excited.
Yeah.
This is legitimately, we didn't get a new Black leader, and this is like the best Black reveals I could have ever asked for.
Yeah.
Well, apart from a Z leader Mechikabura, but you know, I'll take what I can get.
So what do you guys think? Do you like this type of support for the Black leaders, or would you like to see a brand new Black archetype?
Yeah,
let us know down in the comments. Click the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Click the bell for notification and smash that like button.
Super Saiyan God smash that like button. Yeah, and we'll see you next time.